-50 degrees. That is the wind chill hitting parts of North Dakota right now. And if you think that is cold, wait until you see what is coming next week. Because what we are tracking right now is not just one Arctic blast, it is 3 separate waves of bone-chilling air that will crash across America like a freight train with no brakes. Right now, at this very moment, over 110 million Americans are in the direct path of life-threatening cold. And here is what nobody is telling you. This is not normal February weather. Temperature records that have stood for decades are about to be shattered in the next 72 hours. We are talking about cities seeing their coldest temperatures in over 30 years. But before I show you exactly when this Arctic monster hits your city, and trust me, I have the timing down to the hour for over 150 locations, let me show you something that will make your jaw drop. Wind chills of -60 degrees Fahrenheit. That is colder than Antarctica right now. That is colder than the surface of Mars on some days. And it is headed straight for the heartland of America. Now stay with me here because at the 30-second mark, I am going to reveal which major cities will see temperatures drop 40 degrees in just 6 hours. Yes, you heard that right. 40 degrees in 6 hours. That is not a typo. Here is what is happening right now. A massive dome of Arctic air is sitting over Canada, and it is about to break loose. Think of it like a dam holding back water. Except this dam is about to burst, and instead of water, we are talking about air so cold it came straight from the Arctic Circle. We are looking at the coldest air mass to hit the United States in 5 years. Winter Storm Kingston just tore through the country, dropping 12.5 inches of snow in parts of Virginia. Norfolk, Virginia shattered their daily snowfall record with 10.2 inches. The old record was less than 1 inch. They beat it by over 9 inches. Over 500 car crashes reported in Virginia alone. 4 people have died. And that was just the warm-up act. Let me break this down city by city, hour by hour, so you know exactly when to expect this. Starting in the Northern Plains, Bismarck, North Dakota, you are first in line. Tonight, Thursday, February 6th, temperatures drop to -15 degrees Fahrenheit by midnight. But the wind chill, and this is what will hurt you, -45 degrees Fahrenheit by Friday morning at 6 a.m. That is cold enough to give you frostbite in under 10 minutes of exposed skin. Fargo, North Dakota, you are looking at -12 degrees actual temperature Friday morning, -42 degree wind chills. The peak of the cold hits you Friday between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m., Minneapolis, Minnesota. Here is your timeline. Thursday night into Friday, temperatures crash to -8 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind chills bottom out at -35 degrees Friday morning around 7 a.m. This is the coldest air you have seen since January 2020. Rapid City, South Dakota, the cold slams into you Friday morning. -5 degrees actual temperature, -30 degree wind chills between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Friday. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, expect -10 degrees Friday morning with wind chills hitting -38 degrees. The worst of it arrives between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. Friday. Now let me jump to the Midwest because this is where things get really interesting. The cold air is moving so fast, it is going to feel like someone flipped a switch. Chicago, Illinois, you dodged the worst of Winter Storm Kingston, but you are not dodging this. Friday afternoon, temperatures drop from 28 degrees at noon to 18 degrees by 6 p.m. Then overnight Friday into Saturday, you crash to 6 degrees above zero. But Saturday morning, wind chills hit -15 degrees between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. That is a 35-degree temperature drop in less than 18 hours. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, similar story. Friday high of 24 degrees, then overnight into Saturday you drop to 2 degrees above zero. Wind chills Saturday morning, -22 degrees. Peak cold hits between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Saturday. Detroit, Michigan, Friday starts mild at 32 degrees by noon. By Friday midnight, you are at 15 degrees. Saturday morning at 7 a.m., temperatures bottom out at 8 degrees with wind chills of -18 degrees. Indianapolis, Indiana, you got a mix of snow and sleet today. Tomorrow, Friday, high of 30 degrees by 2 p.m., then temperatures nosedive. Saturday morning at 6 a.m., you are at 12 degrees with -12-degree wind chills. Roads that were wet from today's precipitation will turn into ice rinks overnight. Now, here is something critical. At the 5-minute mark, I promised to deliver on exactly how this affects you. So here it is. This Arctic blast is not a one-day event. It is a multi-day siege of cold that will test infrastructure, challenge power grids, and put lives at risk if people are not prepared. We have already seen what happens when cold this extreme hits. Back in December, record warm temperatures. Early January, the first Arctic blast. Now this is round 2, and it is stronger. Let me continue with more cities because knowing your specific timing could save your life, or at least save you from being stranded. St. Louis, Missouri, winter storm. Kingston dropped 6 to 8 inches of snow in counties south of you. Now, the cold arrives. Friday evening, temperatures at 28 degrees by 6 p.m. Saturday morning at 7 a.m., 10 degrees above zero with wind chills of -8 degrees. But here is the kicker. You stay below freezing for 72 straight hours starting Friday evening. Kansas City, Missouri, you saw heavy snow from Kingston, 11 inches in some spots southwest of the city. The cold moves in Friday night. Saturday morning, temperatures hit 8 degrees above zero, wind chills of -10 degrees between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. Saturday. Highs on Saturday only reach 16 degrees. Omaha, Nebraska, the Arctic air arrives Friday afternoon. Friday evening at 8 p.m., temperatures drop to 12 degrees. Saturday morning at 6 a.m., -2 degrees Fahrenheit with wind chills of -25 degrees. This is your coldest morning of the entire winter season. Des Moines, Iowa, Friday night into Saturday morning is your danger zone. Temperatures drop to -4 degrees Fahrenheit Saturday at 7 a.m. Wind chills reach -28 degrees. Frostbite possible in 15 minutes or less. Now let me shift to the northeast because you are about to get hit hard, and I mean really hard. Buffalo, New York, you are used to cold, but this is different. Friday brings lake effect snow 1 to 3 inches. Then Saturday morning, temperatures crash to 8 degrees above zero with wind chills of -15 degrees. But the wind is the story here. Gusts up to 50 miles per hour Saturday morning, creating dangerous blowing snow and near whiteout conditions. Rochester, New York, same pattern. Lake effect snow Friday, then Saturday morning temperatures of 10 degrees with -12 degree wind chills. Wind gusts to 45 miles per hour Saturday. Syracuse, New York, Friday night into Saturday you get buried. 3 to 5 inches of lake effect snow, then temperatures Saturday morning drop to 6 degrees above zero. Wind chills of -18 degrees with wind gusts to 48 miles per hour. Travel will be nearly impossible Saturday morning. Albany, New York, the cold arrives Saturday morning. Temperatures bottom out at 4 degrees above zero with wind chills hitting -20 degrees. This happens between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Saturday. Upstate New York, some of you in the Adirondacks are looking at -10 to -15 degree actual temperatures with wind chills approaching -45 to -50 degrees. That is the coldest air of the entire season for you. Now let me tell you what is happening in the major population centers of the Northeast Corridor. New York City, Friday brings 1 to 2 inches of snow, mainly in the evening. Then Saturday morning, temperatures drop to 18 degrees with wind chills of -5 degrees. But here is what concerns me. Those wind gusts, 40 to 50 miles per hour Saturday morning could cause scattered power outages. Peak winds between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. Saturday. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, winter storm. Kingston gave you 2 to 3 inches yesterday and today. Now the cold. Saturday morning, 20 degrees actual temperature, -2 degree wind chill. Winds gusting to 42 miles per hour. Any snow on the ground gets blown around, creating hazardous visibility. Boston, Massachusetts, this is big for you. Friday night into Saturday, you could see 3 to 5 inches of additional snow on top of what you already got. Then, Saturday morning, temperatures crash to 14 degrees with wind chills of -8 degrees. Wind gusts up to 55 miles per hour, especially along the coast. Logan Airport, expect major delays Saturday morning. Hartford, Connecticut, 3 to 4 inches of snow. Friday night, then Saturday morning, temperatures of 12 degrees with -10 degree wind chills. Winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. Providence, Rhode Island, similar to Boston. 4 to 6 inches of snow possible Friday night into Saturday morning, then temperatures drop to 16 degrees with wind chills near -6 degrees. Coastal wind gusts could hit 60 miles per hour Saturday morning. Portland, Maine, you are on the northern edge. 6 to 8 inches of snow possible Friday into Saturday, then temperatures Saturday morning drop to 8 degrees above zero with wind chills of negative 15 degrees. Wind gusts to 52 miles per hour. This is a dangerous combination of heavy snow and extreme cold arriving at the same time. Now let me go to the mid-Atlantic because Winter Storm Kingston just hammered you and the cold is coming fast. Washington, D.C., 2 inches of snow from Kingston. Now Saturday morning temperatures drop to 22 degrees with wind chills of 0 degrees. Winds gusting to 38 miles per hour. Metro delays possible due to cold weather equipment issues. Baltimore, Maryland, similar to D.C. Saturday morning, 20 degrees with negative 2-degree wind chills. Wind gusts to 40 miles per hour. Richmond, Virginia, you got 3 to 5 inches from Kingston. Saturday morning, temperatures 26 degrees, wind chills around 8 degrees above zero. Winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. Norfolk, Virginia, you just set a snowfall record. 10.2 inches from Kingston, crushing the old record of 0.6 inches. Now Saturday, temperatures at 30 degrees, wind chills around 15 degrees. The snow on the ground is not going anywhere for days. Raleigh, North Carolina, Kingston brought you ice and snow. 1/4 inch of ice in spots. Saturday morning, temperatures at 28 degrees, wind chills around 12 degrees. Black ice will be a major problem Saturday morning on bridges and overpasses. Charlotte, North Carolina, you saw a mix from Kingston. Saturday morning, 32 degrees, wind chills around 18 degrees. Not as cold as the north, but cold enough to keep roads icy in shaded areas. Greensboro, North Carolina, similar to Charlotte. Saturday at 30 degrees, wind chills near 16 degrees. Watch for black ice on highway overpasses Saturday morning. Now here is something you need to understand about this pattern, and this is at the 10-minute mark, so I want to give you something valuable. This Arctic outbreak is being driven by something called the polar vortex. Now I know that term gets thrown around a lot, but let me explain what is really happening. There is a massive area of low pressure sitting over Canada right now. This low pressure is pulling Arctic air straight down from the North Pole. And it is not just pulling it down, it is accelerating it like a funnel. The jet stream has buckled into a deep trough, which means cold air from Canada is rushing south with nothing to stop it. Here is the critical part. This is not a quick hit cold snap. The models are showing this cold air mass stays in place for 3 to 4 days across the eastern 2/3 of the United States. That means prolonged exposure to dangerous cold. It means frozen pipes. It means power outages from equipment failures. It means hypothermia risks for anyone outside too long. Let me continue with more cities in the southeast because yes, this cold is coming for you too. Atlanta, Georgia, you do not escape this. Saturday morning, temperatures drop to 28 degrees, which is not that bad, right? Wrong. Wind chills Saturday morning hit 18 degrees, but more importantly, you just had severe weather and heavy rain. Now that moisture freezes. Black ice, Saturday morning on Interstates 20, 75, and 85 will cause accidents. Peak danger time 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Saturday. Nashville, Tennessee, flooding from last weekend, now snow and cold from Kingston. Saturday morning temperatures at 24 degrees, wind chills at 10 degrees above zero. Roads that were flooded are now icy. This is a very dangerous situation. Avoid travel Saturday morning if possible. Memphis, Tennessee, Saturday morning at 30 degrees, wind chills at 18 degrees. Not extreme cold for you, but cold enough to cause issues on wet roads from recent rain. Birmingham, Alabama, you saw severe weather earlier this week. Saturday morning, temperatures at 32 degrees, wind chills at 20 degrees. Watch for icy spots on bridges and elevated roadways. Jackson, Mississippi, Saturday morning at 34 degrees, wind chills at 22 degrees. Freezing temperatures are possible in rural areas north of the city Saturday morning. Little Rock, Arkansas, Kingston brought you ice. 1/4 inch of ice accumulation in spots. Saturday morning, temperatures at 26 degrees, wind chills at 12 degrees. Power outages are possible from ice-weighted tree limbs breaking in the wind. Winds gusting to 30 miles per hour Saturday. Now I want to shift to the Plains and Mountain West because your story is different but equally important. Denver, Colorado, you are on the western edge of this. Saturday morning temperatures at 22 degrees, wind chills at 8 degrees above zero. Not terrible for Denver standards, but the cold air is building to your east. Cheyenne, Wyoming, Saturday morning at 12 degrees, wind chills at -10 degrees, winds gusting to 45 miles per hour Saturday, blowing snow and reduced visibility on Interstate 80. Billings, Montana, Saturday morning at 8 degrees above zero, wind chills at -18 degrees, wind gusts to 38 miles per hour. Dangerous wind chills for ranchers and anyone working outdoors. Casper, Wyoming, Saturday at 10 degrees, wind chills at -12 degrees, wind gusts to 42 miles per hour. Pierre, South Dakota, Saturday morning at -8 degrees, wind chills at -35 degrees. This is life-threatening cold. Do not travel Saturday morning unless absolutely necessary. Now let me jump back to the Great Lakes because you are getting hammered with lake effect snow on top of the Arctic cold. Cleveland, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, you get 3 to 6 inches of lake effect snow. Then Saturday morning, temperatures drop to 10 degrees above zero with wind chills of -10 degrees. Winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. Near whiteout conditions possible Saturday morning along the lake shore. Toledo, Ohio, similar to Cleveland, 4 to 6 inches of snow Friday into Saturday. Then temperatures Saturday morning at 12 degrees with -8-degree wind chills. Winds gusting to 43 miles per hour. Grand Rapids, Michigan, you are in a lake effect snow bullseye. 6 to 10 inches possible Friday into Saturday. Then Saturday morning, temperatures at 6 degrees above zero, wind chills at -16 degrees, winds gusting to 48 miles per hour. Travel will be extremely dangerous Saturday. Marquette, Michigan, you are in the Upper Peninsula snow machine. 8 to 12 inches Friday into Saturday. Then Saturday morning temperatures at 0 degrees Fahrenheit with wind chills of -25 degrees, winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. Blizzard conditions possible Saturday morning. Now here is what I want you to do right now. Drop a comment below and tell me where you are watching from. Tell me your city, your state. I will personally reply to as many of you as possible with your specific forecast timing. Because I have detailed information for over 150 cities, and I want to make sure you have the exact information you need for your location. Let me continue with the central United States because this is where the temperature drops are going to be the most dramatic. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Kingston brought you ice Wednesday. Quarter inch of ice caused scattered power outages. Now Saturday morning, temperatures at 28 degrees, wind chills at 14 degrees, winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. Ice on power lines could cause additional outages if wind gusts are strong enough. Tulsa, Oklahoma, similar to Oklahoma City. Ice from Kingston, now Saturday morning at 30 degrees with wind chills at 16 degrees. Watch for falling ice from trees and power lines as winds pick up. Wichita, Kansas, you got buried by Kingston. 8 to 10 inches of snow in spots. Now Saturday morning, temperatures at 14 degrees, wind chills at -4 degrees, winds gusting to 40 miles per hour, creating blowing snow and drifting. Roads that were plowed will drift shut again Saturday. Topeka, Kansas, similar to Wichita. Heavy snow from Kingston, now Saturday morning at 16 degrees with wind chills of -2 degrees, wind gusts to 38 miles per hour. Now let me give you the Texas cities because I know a lot of you are wondering if this reaches you. Dallas, Texas, you saw severe weather earlier this week. Now Saturday morning, temperatures dropped to 34 degrees, wind chills at 22 degrees. Not extreme cold, but a freeze warning is in effect. Protect pipes and plants Friday night into Saturday morning. Fort Worth, Texas, same as Dallas. Saturday morning at 34 degrees, wind chills at 20 degrees. Freeze warning in effect. Houston, Texas, Saturday morning at 40 degrees, wind chills at 30 degrees. You are on the southern edge of the cold. A freeze is possible north and west of the city. San Antonio, Texas, Saturday morning at 38 degrees, wind chills at 28 degrees. Freeze watch in effect for Saturday morning. Austin, Texas, Saturday morning at 36 degrees, wind chills at 26 degrees. Freeze warning for Saturday morning. Protect outdoor plants. El Paso, Texas, you are well to the west. Saturday morning at 42 degrees, no major cold issues for you. Lubbock, Texas, Saturday morning at 28 degrees, wind chills at 12 degrees. Freezing temperatures and wind chills in the teens. Amarillo, Texas, Saturday morning at 20 degrees, wind chills at 4 degrees above zero, winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. This is your coldest morning of the winter. Now, I want to talk about what comes after this initial blast because this is a multi-act show and you need to know what is coming next week. This first Arctic outbreak peaks Saturday morning and starts to moderate by Sunday. Temperatures will still be below normal, but not as extreme. Sunday morning lows will be 5 to 10 degrees warmer than Saturday morning in most locations. But here is the problem. Another wave of cold is building for the middle of next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, we are tracking another significant cold outbreak. This one may be even colder than what we are seeing this weekend. The polar vortex is stretching over North America, and that stretched configuration is forecast to persist through the third week of February. Let me give you the extended outlook for major cities. Chicago, Tuesday, February 11th through Thursday, February 13th. High temperatures only in the teens. Overnight lows in the single digits above zero. Wind chills below zero during the mornings. Minneapolis, same time frame, highs in the single digits above zero, overnight lows below zero. Wind chills -20 to -30 degrees. New York City, Tuesday through Thursday next week, highs in the mid-20s, overnight lows in the teens. Wind chills in the single digits above zero. Boston, Tuesday through Thursday, highs around 20 degrees, lows around 10 degrees, wind chills near zero. Now let me continue with more cities for this current event because I know you want your specific timing. Cincinnati, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning, temperatures at 14 degrees, wind chills at -6 degrees, winds gusting to 40 miles per hour. Columbus, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 12 degrees, wind chills at -8 degrees, winds gusting to 42 miles per hour. Louisville, Kentucky, this is tough for you. Flooding last weekend killed 12 people in Kentucky. Now you are getting 3 to 5 inches of snow from Kingston on top of the flood damage. Saturday morning, temperatures at 22 degrees, wind chills at 6 degrees above zero. Roads are treacherous. Lexington, Kentucky, similar to Louisville. Flooding, then snow. Saturday morning at 20 degrees with wind chills at 4 degrees above zero. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday morning, temperatures at 8 degrees above zero, wind chills at -14 degrees, winds gusting to 48 miles per hour. Blowing snow will reduce visibility. Charleston, West Virginia, flooding last weekend, now 4 to 6 inches of snow from Kingston. Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills at 0 degrees. Winds gusting to 38 miles per hour. Huntington, West Virginia, similar to Charleston. Saturday morning at 20 degrees, wind chills at 2 degrees above zero. Now let me talk about the mountain regions because you are seeing significant snowfall on top of the cold. Asheville, North Carolina, you are in the mountains. 4 to 8 inches of snow from Kingston. Saturday morning, temperatures at 22 degrees, wind chills at 4 degrees above zero, winds gusting to 40 miles per hour at higher elevations. Boone, North Carolina, 6 to 10 inches of snow from Kingston. Saturday morning at 12 degrees, wind chills at -10 degrees, winds gusting to 50 miles per hour on the peaks. Ski resorts are loving this snow, but it comes with extreme cold. Here is something important at the 20-minute mark. I want to talk about safety. When wind chills drop below -20 degrees, frostbite can occur in less than 10 minutes on exposed skin. When wind chills drop below -40 degrees, frostbite can occur in less than 5 minutes. What does this mean? It means if you live in the northern plains or upper Midwest, being outside Saturday morning for even a short period without proper protection is dangerous. Dress in layers. Cover all exposed skin. Limit time outdoors. Check on elderly neighbors. Bring pets inside. Let faucets drip to prevent frozen pipes. Keep your gas tank above half full in case you get stranded. Let me continue with more cities. Green Bay, Wisconsin, Friday into Saturday, 6 to 9 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning, temperatures at 0 degrees Fahrenheit, wind chills at -26 degrees, winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. Whiteout conditions possible Saturday morning. Madison, Wisconsin, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 2 degrees above zero, wind chills at -20 degrees. Winds gusting to 40 miles per hour. Duluth, Minnesota, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday morning at -10 degrees, wind chills at -38 degrees. Winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. Dangerous cold. Avoid travel Saturday morning. Now let me jump to some cities in the Mid-South and lower Midwest. Evansville, Indiana, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills chills at 2 degrees above zero. Springfield, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 10 degrees, wind chills at -8 degrees. Peoria, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees, wind chills at -10 degrees. Davenport, Iowa, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 2 degrees above zero, wind chills at -22 degrees. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Friday into Saturday, 5 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 0 degrees, wind chills at -24 degrees. Waterloo, Iowa, Friday into Saturday, 6 to 8 inches of snow. Saturday morning at -4 degrees, wind chills at -28 degrees. Now I want to go to the Northeast Corridor cities I might have missed. Newark, New Jersey, Friday evening, 1 to 2 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills at -4 degrees. Winds gusting to 48 miles per hour. Delays at Newark Liberty Airport likely Saturday morning. Trenton, New Jersey, Friday evening, 2 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 16 degrees, wind chills at -6 degrees. Wilmington, Delaware, Friday evening, 2 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills at -2 degrees. Atlantic City, New Jersey, Friday evening, 1 to 2 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 22 degrees, wind chills at 4 degrees above zero. Coastal wind gusts to 55 miles per hour. Now let me give you some cities in upstate New York and northern New England. Burlington, Vermont, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 8 inches of snow. Saturday morning at -2 degrees, wind chills at -28 degrees. Winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. Montpelier, Vermont, Friday into Saturday, 5 to 9 inches of snow. Saturday morning at -6 degrees, wind chills at -32 degrees. Concord, New Hampshire, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 0 degrees, wind chills at -24 degrees. Manchester, New Hampshire, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 2 degrees above zero, wind chills at -20 degrees. Bangor, Maine, Friday into Saturday, 7 to 11 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 0 degrees, wind chills at -24 degrees, winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. Augusta, Maine, Friday into Saturday, 6 to 10 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 2 degrees above zero, wind chills at -20 degrees. Now at the 30-minute mark, I want to update you on what is happening beyond this weekend. Sunday, temperatures moderate slightly. Most cities will be 5 to 10 degrees warmer Sunday morning compared to Saturday morning, but you are still well below normal. Sunday afternoon highs will struggle to get above freezing in many northern cities. Monday brings a brief break. Temperatures climb back closer to normal, but it is short-lived. Tuesday, the next wave begins. Another blast of Arctic air pushes south. This time, the core of the cold shifts slightly east, which means the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic may actually see colder temperatures Tuesday through Thursday next week than the northern plains. Now, let me give you city-by-city forecasts for that Tuesday through Thursday period next week so you can plan ahead. Minneapolis, Tuesday, February 11th, high of 8 degrees, low of -6 degrees. Wednesday, high of 6 degrees, low of -8 degrees. Thursday, high of 12 degrees, low of -2 degrees. Chicago, Tuesday, high of 16 degrees, low of 4 degrees above zero. Wednesday, high of 14 degrees, low of 2 degrees above zero. Thursday, high of 20 degrees, low of 8 degrees. New York City, Tuesday, high of 24 degrees, low of 14 degrees. Wednesday, high of 22 degrees, low of 12 degrees. Thursday, high of 28 degrees, low of 18 degrees. Boston, Tuesday, high of 20 degrees, low of 8 degrees. Wednesday, high of 18 degrees, low of 6 degrees. Thursday, high of 24 degrees, low of 12 degrees. Washington, D.C., Tuesday, high of 32 degrees, low of 20 degrees. Wednesday, high of 30 degrees, low of 18 degrees. Thursday, high of 36 degrees, low of 24 degrees. Now here is where things get really interesting for the long range, and this is exclusive information you are not hearing anywhere else. There is a signal in the weather models for a potential major snowstorm around Valentine's Day. That is February 14th. The models have been flip-flopping on this. Some runs show a big coastal storm, other runs show nothing. This is typical when you are looking 7 to 8 days out, but the pattern favors storm development. Here is what we know. There will be a southern stream disturbance moving across the southern United States around February 12th and 13th. At the same time, there will be cold air in place across the eastern United States from the Arctic outbreaks. If that southern stream energy can phase or link up with northern stream energy, we could see a significant winter storm develop somewhere along the East Coast. Where exactly? Too soon to say. Could be the mid-Atlantic. Could be the Northeast. Could be both. The timing would be Thursday, February 13th into Friday, February 14th. But this is low confidence right now. The models need to come into better agreement. What I can tell you is this. If you live anywhere from Washington, D.C. to Boston, keep an eye on the forecast early next week for February 13th and 14th. There is potential for a significant storm. Not a guarantee, but potential. Now let me continue with more cities for this weekend's Arctic outbreak. Scranton, Pennsylvania, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 10 degrees, wind chills at negative 12 degrees. Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 12 degrees, wind chills at negative 10 degrees. Allentown, Pennsylvania, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 14 degrees, wind chills at negative 8 degrees. Reading, Pennsylvania, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 16 degrees, wind chills at negative 6 degrees. Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills at negative 4 degrees. York, Pennsylvania, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 20 degrees, wind chills at negative 2 degrees. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 16 degrees, wind chills at negative 6 degrees. State College, Pennsylvania, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees, wind chills at negative 14 degrees. Erie, Pennsylvania, Friday into Saturday, 8 to 12 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning at 6 degrees, wind chills at negative 16 degrees. Winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. Dangerous blowing snow Saturday morning. Now let me hit some cities in the Ohio Valley and Appalachian region. Wheeling, West Virginia, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 14 degrees, wind chills at negative 8 degrees. Morgantown, West Virginia, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 16 degrees, wind chills at negative 6 degrees. Parkersburg, West Virginia, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills at negative 2 degrees. Beckley, West Virginia, Friday into Saturday, 5 to 8 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 12 degrees, wind chills at negative 10 degrees. Bluefield, West Virginia, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 14 degrees, wind chills at negative 8 degrees. Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills at 0 degrees. Johnson City, Tennessee, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 16 degrees, wind chills at negative 2 degrees. Kingsport, Tennessee, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills at 0 degrees. Knoxville, Tennessee, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 22 degrees, wind chills at 6 degrees above zero. Chattanooga, Tennessee, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 26 degrees, wind chills at 12 degrees. Now let me give you some cities in the upper Midwest and northern plains that I have not covered yet. Green Bay, Wisconsin, I mentioned earlier. Saturday morning at 0 degrees, wind chills at negative 26 degrees. Appleton, Wisconsin, Saturday morning at 2 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 24 degrees. Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Saturday morning at negative 2 degrees, wind chills at negative 28 degrees. La Crosse, Wisconsin, Saturday morning at 0 degrees, wind chills at negative 26 degrees. Wausau, Wisconsin, Saturday morning at negative 4 degrees, wind chills at negative 30 degrees. Now, at the 40-minute mark, I need to tell you about the pattern beyond the middle of February because this has major implications. After the second Arctic blast next week, Tuesday through Thursday, the pattern starts to change. A ridge of high pressure builds over the western United States. This will finally break the relentless cold pattern we have been in. The jet stream buckles north, and warmer air starts to push into the central and eastern United States. By the weekend of February 15th and 16th, temperatures could be 10 to 20 degrees above normal across much of the country. This is a dramatic flip from 40 degrees below normal to 20 degrees above normal in less than a week. But here is the catch. When you have these big pattern changes, you often get big storms. That is where that potential Valentine's Day storm comes into play. The clash between the cold air trying to hang on and the warm air trying to push in creates an unstable atmosphere. And when the atmosphere is unstable, storms develop. So the last half of February could be active. Not necessarily cold, but active with storms. Now let me finish up with cities across the country I have not mentioned yet. Lincoln, Nebraska, Saturday morning at 6 degrees above zero. Wind chills at negative 16 degrees. Grand Island, Nebraska, Saturday morning at 4 degrees above zero. Wind chills at negative 18 degrees. Sioux City, Iowa, Saturday morning at negative 2 degrees. Wind chills at negative 26 degrees. Fort Dodge, Iowa, Saturday morning at negative 4 degrees. Wind chills at negative 28 degrees. Mason City, Iowa, Saturday morning at negative 6 degrees. Wind chills at negative 30 degrees. Rochester, Minnesota, Saturday morning at negative 8 degrees. Wind chills at negative 34 degrees. Mankato, Minnesota, Saturday morning at negative 10 degrees. Wind chills at negative 36 degrees. St. Cloud, Minnesota, Saturday morning at negative 12 degrees. Wind chills at negative 38 degrees. Brainerd, Minnesota, Saturday morning at negative 14 degrees. Wind chills at negative 40 degrees. Bemidji, Minnesota, Saturday morning at negative 16 degrees. Wind chills at negative 42 degrees. International Falls, Minnesota, Saturday morning at negative 20 degrees. Wind chills at negative 48 degrees. This is extreme cold. Life-threatening conditions. Do not go outside Saturday morning unless absolutely necessary. Now let me hit some cities in the Dakotas. Aberdeen, South Dakota, Saturday morning at negative 10 degrees. Wind chills at negative 36 degrees. Watertown, South Dakota, Saturday morning at negative 12 degrees. Wind chills at negative 38 degrees. Huron, South Dakota, Saturday morning at negative 8 degrees. Wind chills at negative 34 degrees. Mitchell, South Dakota, Saturday morning at negative 6 degrees. Wind chills at negative 32 degrees. Yankton, South Dakota, Saturday morning at negative 4 degrees. Wind chills at negative 28 degrees. Grand Forks, North Dakota, Saturday morning at negative 18 degrees. Wind chills at negative 46 degrees. Extreme cold. Frostbite in minutes. Minot, North Dakota, Saturday morning at negative 20 degrees. Wind chills at negative 48 degrees. Williston, North Dakota, Saturday morning at negative 22 degrees. Wind chills at negative 50 degrees. This is the coldest air on this entire forecast. 50 below zero wind chill. That is Antarctica level cold. Dickinson, North Dakota, Saturday morning at negative 18 degrees. Wind chills at negative 44 degrees. Now I want to give you cities across Montana and Wyoming. Great Falls, Montana, Saturday morning at 4 degrees above zero. Wind chills at negative 20 degrees. Missoula, Montana, Saturday morning at 12 degrees. Wind chills at negative 8 degrees. Bozeman, Montana, Saturday morning at 6 degrees above zero. Wind chills at negative 16 degrees. Butte, Montana, Saturday morning at 0 degrees. Wind chills at negative 24 degrees. Helena, Montana, Saturday morning at 2 degrees above zero. Wind chills at negative 22 degrees. Sheridan, Wyoming, Saturday morning at 8 degrees above zero. Wind chills at negative 14 degrees. Gillette, Wyoming, Saturday morning at 6 degrees above zero. Wind chills at negative 16 degrees. Rock Springs, Wyoming, Saturday morning at 14 degrees. Wind chills at negative 6 degrees. Laramie, Wyoming, Saturday morning at 10 degrees. Wind chills at negative 10 degrees. Now let me give you some cities in the Mountain West. Boise, Idaho, Saturday morning at 28 degrees. Wind chills at 16 degrees. You are well to the west of the worst cold. Pocatello, Idaho, Saturday morning at 18 degrees. Wind chills at 4 degrees above zero. Idaho Falls, Idaho, Saturday morning at 14 degrees. Wind chills at negative 2 degrees. Salt Lake City, Utah, Saturday morning at 26 degrees. Wind chills at 12 degrees. Provo, Utah, Saturday morning at 24 degrees. Wind chills at 10 degrees. Ogden, Utah, Saturday morning at 22 degrees. Wind chills at 8 degrees. Now some cities in the southwest. Phoenix, Arizona, Saturday morning at 48 degrees. No cold issues for you. Tucson, Arizona, Saturday morning at 44 degrees. Albuquerque, New Mexico, Saturday morning at 32 degrees. Wind chills at 18 degrees. Freezing temperatures Saturday morning. Santa Fe, New Mexico, Saturday morning at 26 degrees. Wind chills at 10 degrees. Las Cruces, New Mexico, Saturday morning at 36 degrees, wind chills at 24 degrees. Flagstaff, Arizona, Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills at 0 degrees. High elevation, cold. Now let me give you West Coast cities. Seattle, Washington, Saturday morning at 38 degrees, no Arctic cold for you. You are under a different weather pattern with rain and mountain snow. Portland, Oregon, Saturday morning at 40 degrees, rain and mountain snow for you, not Arctic cold. Eugene, Oregon, Saturday morning at 38 degrees. Medford, Oregon, Saturday morning at 34 degrees. Sacramento, California, Saturday morning at 42 degrees. San Francisco, California, Saturday morning at 46 degrees. Los Angeles, California, Saturday morning at 52 degrees. San Diego, California, Saturday morning at 54 degrees. Las Vegas, Nevada, Saturday morning at 44 degrees. Reno, Nevada, Saturday morning at 32 degrees. Now, at the 50-minute mark, let me give you the big picture one more time because I want you to walk away from this with absolute clarity on what is happening. This weekend, Saturday morning specifically, is the peak of this first Arctic outbreak. Over 100 million Americans will wake up to temperatures at least 20 degrees below normal. 40 to 50 million Americans will wake up to temperatures at least 30 degrees below normal. 10 to 15 million Americans in the northern plains will wake up to wind chills below negative 30 degrees. This is not hype. This is not exaggeration. This is life-threatening cold in some areas. Sunday brings slight moderation, but you are still well below normal. Monday, brief break. Tuesday through Thursday next week, another significant Arctic outbreak. This one may bring even colder air to the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic than what they see this weekend. Then by the weekend of February 15th and 16th, a major pattern change. Temperatures could swing from 40 degrees below normal to 20 degrees above normal in some cities. Somewhere in that transition, likely around Valentine's Day, February 14th, there is potential for a significant winter storm. The details are not locked in yet, but the pattern supports it. Keep watching the forecast early next week for updates on that. Beyond that, the last half of February looks warmer and more active with storm systems. Not necessarily a lot of Arctic cold, but active weather with rain and snow depending on your location. Now, here is what I need you to do right now. Comment below and tell me where you are watching from. I want to make sure I covered your city. If I did not mention your specific location, tell me and I will reply with your forecast. Subscribe to this channel because I am tracking all of this day by day. I am going to have updates tomorrow, updates this weekend, and daily updates next week as we watch that potential Valentine's Day storm develop or fall apart. This is the most active winter pattern we have seen in 5 years. We are not done yet. There is more to come. And I am going to be here every single day giving you the information you need to stay safe and stay prepared. One more thing. Share this video with your family and friends. Share it with your neighbors. Especially if you have elderly family members or neighbors, make sure they know this cold is coming. Check on them Saturday morning. Make sure they have heat. Make sure they are safe. This is not just another cold snap. This is a historic Arctic outbreak that is going to challenge infrastructure, test people as preparedness, and unfortunately, it will likely lead to loss of life if people are not careful. But knowledge is power. Now you know exactly when this hits your city. You know how cold it gets. You know when it peaks. You know what comes after. Use this information. Prepare now. Friday is your last day to get ready before the worst of the cold arrives Saturday morning. I will be back tomorrow with an update. I will be tracking any changes in the forecast. I will be watching that potential Valentine's Day storm. And I will keep you informed every step of the way. Now let me give you more cities across the Midwest and South that need detailed forecasts because I know many of you are still waiting to hear your specific area. Springfield, Missouri, you saw 8 to 10 inches of snow from Winter Storm Kingston. Saturday morning, temperatures at 16 degrees, wind chills at -4 degrees, winds gusting to 36 miles per hour. Snow drifts on highways will be a problem Saturday morning. Joplin, Missouri, similar to Springfield. Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills at -2 degrees. Columbia, Missouri, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 14 degrees, wind chills at -6 degrees. Jefferson City, Missouri, Friday into Saturday, 5 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 12 degrees, wind chills at -8 degrees. Cape Girardeau, Missouri, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 20 degrees, wind chills at 2 degrees above zero. Paducah, Kentucky, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 22 degrees, wind chills at 6 degrees above zero. Bowling Green, Kentucky, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 24 degrees, wind chills at 8 degrees above zero. Owensboro, Kentucky, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 24 degrees, wind chills at 10 degrees above zero. Now let me talk about something critical that nobody else is discussing. The economic impact of this cold. When temperatures drop this low for multiple days, natural gas demand spikes. Power grids get stressed. We saw what happened in Texas in February 2021 when the cold overwhelmed the system. Now, I am not saying we are headed for that level of disaster, but utilities are already warning customers to conserve energy during peak demand times. Saturday morning between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. when temperatures are at their coldest, that is when power demand will be highest. People cranking up heat, electric space heaters running, everyone trying to stay warm at the same time. This stresses transformers, stresses power lines, and increases the risk of outages. If you have a backup heating source like a fireplace or wood stove, make sure it is ready. If you have a generator, make sure it has fuel. If you have nowhere to go if power goes out, know where your nearest warming shelter is located. Most cities have designated warming centers that open during extreme cold events. Now let me continue with more cities in the South and Southeast. Greenville, South Carolina, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 2 inches of snow possible in higher elevations northwest of the city. Saturday morning at 30 degrees, wind chills at 16 degrees. Watch for black ice on bridges Saturday morning. Spartanburg, South Carolina, similar to Greenville. Saturday morning at 28 degrees, wind chills at 14 degrees. Columbia, South Carolina, Saturday morning at 32 degrees, wind chills at 18 degrees. Freezing temperatures will kill any plants that are not protected. Charleston, South Carolina, Saturday morning at 36 degrees, wind chills at 24 degrees. A freeze is possible in inland areas. Savannah, Georgia, Saturday morning at 38 degrees, wind chills at 26 degrees. No major cold issues for coastal areas. Augusta, Georgia, Saturday morning at 32 degrees, wind chills at 18 degrees. Freeze warning Saturday morning. Macon, Georgia, Saturday morning at 32 degrees, wind chills at 20 degrees. Protect outdoor plants Friday night. Columbus, Georgia, Saturday morning at 34 degrees, wind chills at 22 degrees. Montgomery, Alabama, Saturday morning at 34 degrees, wind chills at 22 degrees. Mobile, Alabama, Saturday morning at 40 degrees, wind chills at 28 degrees. You are on the southern edge of the cold. Pensacola, Florida, Saturday morning at 42 degrees, wind chills at 30 degrees. No freeze for you. Tallahassee, Florida, Saturday morning at 38 degrees, wind chills at 26 degrees. Freeze possible in northern Leon County. Jacksonville, Florida, Saturday morning at 40 degrees, wind chills at 28 degrees. Coastal areas stay above freezing. Gainesville, Florida, Saturday morning at 42 degrees, wind chills at 30 degrees. Orlando, Florida, Saturday morning at 48 degrees, wind chills at 38 degrees, no cold worries for Central Florida. Tampa, Florida, Saturday morning at 52 degrees, no impact from Arctic cold. Miami, Florida, Saturday morning at 64 degrees. You are in a completely different weather pattern. Now let me give you cities in the Ohio Valley I have not mentioned yet. Akron, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 12 degrees, wind chills at -8 degrees. Canton, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 10 degrees, wind chills at -10 degrees. Youngstown, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, 5 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees, wind chills at -12 degrees. Lima, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 10 degrees, wind chills at -10 degrees. Mansfield, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees, wind chills at -12 degrees. Sandusky, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, 6 to 9 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning at 12 degrees, wind chills at -8 degrees. Dayton, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 14 degrees, wind chills at -6 degrees. Hamilton, Ohio, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 16 degrees, wind chills at -4 degrees. Now, at the 55-minute mark, I want to give you detailed safety information that could save your life or the life of someone you love. Frostbite occurs in stages. First-degree frostbite affects the surface of your skin. You will see redness and feel pain. This can happen in 30 minutes when wind chills are -10 to -20 degrees. Second-degree frostbite goes deeper. Your skin will blister. This can happen in 15 to 20 minutes when wind chills are -20 to -30 degrees. Third-degree frostbite affects all layers of skin and the tissue beneath. Your skin will turn black. This is a medical emergency. This can happen in 10 minutes or less when wind chills drop below -30 degrees. Hypothermia is when your core body temperature drops below 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Early signs include shivering, confusion, drowsiness, slurred speech. As it gets worse, shivering stops, breathing slows, and you can lose consciousness. Hypothermia can kill you. If someone shows signs of hypothermia, call 911 immediately. Move them to a warm location. Remove any wet clothing. Wrap them in blankets. Give them warm beverages if they are conscious. Do not give them alcohol. For frostbite, move to a warm location. Do not rub the frostbitten area. Soak the affected area in warm water, not hot water, between 100 and 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not use direct heat like a heating pad or fire. Now let me give you more Midwest cities. Rockford, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 4 degrees above zero, wind chills at -18 degrees. Joliet, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees above zero, wind chills at -12 degrees. Aurora, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 6 degrees above zero, wind chills at -14 degrees. Naperville, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees above zero, wind chills at -12 degrees. Champaign, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 10 degrees above zero, wind chills at -10 degrees. Decatur, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 12 degrees above zero, wind chills at -8 degrees. Bloomington, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 10 degrees above zero, wind chills at -10 degrees. Quincy, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees above zero, wind chills at -12 degrees. Moline, Illinois, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 4 degrees above zero, wind chills at -18 degrees. Now let me give you Indiana cities I have not covered. Fort Wayne, Indiana, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 10 degrees above zero, wind chills at -10 degrees. South Bend, Indiana, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 7 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees above zero, wind chills at -12 degrees. Elkhart, Indiana, Friday into Saturday, 5 to 8 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning at 6 degrees above zero, wind chills at -14 degrees. Lafayette, Indiana, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 12 degrees above zero, wind chills at -8 degrees. Muncie, Indiana, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 14 degrees above zero, wind chills at -6 degrees. Terre Haute, Indiana, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 16 degrees above zero, wind chills at -4 degrees. Bloomington, Indiana, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 18 degrees above zero, wind chills at -2 degrees. Now let me talk about your vehicles because cold this extreme will test your car. Car batteries lose power in extreme cold. A battery that works fine at 50 degrees Fahrenheit loses about 35% of its power at 32 degrees. At 0 degrees, it loses about 60% of its power. At -20 degrees, your battery has lost almost 80% of its starting power. If your battery is more than 3 years old, there is a good chance it will not start Saturday morning if you are in the coldest zones. Get your battery tested today, Friday, if you can. Engine oil thickens in extreme cold. If you do not have winter weight oil, your engine will be harder to start. Diesel fuel can gel when temperatures drop below 20 degrees. If you drive a diesel vehicle, make sure you have winter blend diesel or use an anti-gel additive. Tire pressure drops about 1 pound per square inch for every 10-degree drop in temperature. When temperatures drop 40 degrees in 12 hours, you could lose 4 psi in your tires. Check your tire pressure Friday evening. Keep your gas tank at least half full. If you get stranded, you need fuel to run the engine for heat. Also, a full tank prevents moisture from forming in the fuel lines, which can freeze. Pack an emergency kit in your car. Blankets, flashlight, extra batteries, bottled water, non-perishable snacks, first aid kit, jumper cables, ice scraper, small shovel, sand, or kitty litter for traction if you get stuck. Now let me give you more cities across the northern tier. Billings, Montana, I mentioned earlier, but let me expand. Saturday morning at 8 degrees, wind chills at negative 18 degrees. But Sunday and Monday, you warm up significantly. Sunday high of 38 degrees, Monday high of 42 degrees. Big temperature swings for you. Bismarck, North Dakota, Saturday morning at negative 15 degrees, wind chills at negative 45 degrees. Sunday, you only warm to negative 8 degrees for the morning low. Monday morning, still at negative 6 degrees. The cold is stubborn in North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota, Saturday at negative 12 degrees, wind chills at negative 42 degrees. Sunday morning at negative 10 degrees, Monday morning at negative 8 degrees. You stay in the deep freeze for 3 days straight. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Saturday at negative 10 degrees, wind chills at negative 38 degrees. Sunday morning at negative 6 degrees, Monday morning at negative 4 degrees. 3 consecutive mornings below zero for you. Rapid City, South Dakota, Saturday at negative 5 degrees, wind chills at negative 30 degrees. Sunday morning at 0 degrees, Monday morning at 4 degrees above zero. You moderate faster than cities to your east. Now let me give you more Wisconsin cities. Kenosha, Wisconsin, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 4 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 18 degrees. Racine, Wisconsin, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 6 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 16 degrees. Sheboygan, Wisconsin, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning at 4 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 18 degrees. Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Friday into Saturday, 5 to 7 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning at 0 degrees, wind chills at negative 24 degrees. Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, Friday into Saturday, 5 to 7 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning at 2 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 22 degrees. Stevens Point, Wisconsin, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at negative 2 degrees, wind chills at negative 26 degrees. Now let me give you Michigan cities in more detail. Lansing, Michigan, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 12 degrees. Ann Arbor, Michigan, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 10 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 10 degrees. Flint, Michigan, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 6 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 14 degrees. Saginaw, Michigan, Friday into Saturday, 5 to 7 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 4 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 16 degrees. Kalamazoo, Michigan, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 12 degrees. Battle Creek, Michigan, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 8 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 12 degrees. Traverse City, Michigan, Friday into Saturday, 6 to 9 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning at 4 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 18 degrees. Petoskey, Michigan, Friday into Saturday, 8 to 12 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning at 2 degrees above zero, wind chills at negative 22 degrees. Houghton, Michigan, up in the Keweenaw Peninsula, Friday into Saturday, 10 to 15 inches of lake effect snow. Saturday morning at 0 degrees, wind chills at negative 24 degrees. Some of the heaviest snow totals in the entire country from this event. Now let me talk about what this means for travel, because I know many of you have travel plans. If you are flying Saturday morning, expect delays and cancellations, especially at northern airports. Chicago O'Hare, delays likely due to de-icing operations and extreme cold affecting ground equipment. Minneapolis, St. Paul, major delays likely. Wind chills of negative 35 degrees mean ground crews can only work outside for short periods. Detroit Metro, expect delays. Buffalo, delays and possible cancellations. Boston Logan, delays likely, especially for morning flights. If you are driving Saturday morning, especially in the northern plains, upper Midwest, or interior Northeast, reconsider your trip. Is it absolutely necessary? If you must drive, leave later in the day Saturday when temperatures are slightly warmer and visibility is better. Early Saturday morning will have the worst combination of extreme cold, low visibility from blowing snow, and icy roads. Interstate 94 across southern Minnesota, not recommended Saturday morning. Interstate 29 from Fargo to Sioux Falls, dangerous Saturday morning. Interstate 90 across South Dakota, dangerous Saturday morning. Interstate 80 from Des Moines to Chicago, use caution Saturday morning. Interstate 90 from Chicago to Cleveland, hazardous Saturday morning due to snow and wind. Interstate 70 from Kansas City to St. Louis, snow-covered and icy Saturday morning. Now let me give you extended forecasts for next week for more cities because I know you are planning ahead. Atlanta, next week, Tuesday through Thursday, highs in the mid-40s, lows in the upper 20s. Not extremely cold, but below normal. Another freeze possible Wednesday and Thursday mornings. Charlotte, next week, Tuesday through Thursday. Highs in the upper 30s, lows in the mid-20s. Multiple freezing mornings next week. Raleigh, next week, Tuesday through Thursday. Highs around 40 degrees, lows in the upper 20s. Several mornings of freezing temperatures. Richmond, next week, Tuesday through Thursday. Highs in the mid-30s, lows in the low 20s. Well below normal all week. Washington, D.C., next week, Tuesday through Thursday. Highs in the low 30s, lows around 20 degrees. Very cold for D.C. standards. Baltimore, next week, Tuesday through Thursday. Highs around 30 degrees, lows in the upper teens. Coldest stretch of the winter so far for Baltimore. Philadelphia, next week, Tuesday through Thursday. Highs in the upper 20s, lows in the mid-teens. Multiple days where you do not get above freezing. New York City, next week, Tuesday through Thursday. Highs in the mid-20s, lows around 15 degrees. Cold enough that outdoor pipes could freeze. Boston, next week, Tuesday through Thursday. Highs around 20 degrees, lows around 10 degrees. Very cold week ahead for Boston. Now let me address something important. Climate change and Arctic outbreaks. Some people say, how can we have global warming if we are seeing Arctic blasts like this? The answer is complex. Global warming refers to the long-term trend of rising average temperatures worldwide, but that does not mean every location is warm all the time. In fact, some research suggests that Arctic warming may be contributing to more frequent southward dips of the jet stream, which brings Arctic air to the mid-latitudes. When the Arctic warms faster than the rest of the planet, which it is, the temperature difference between the Arctic and the mid-latitudes decreases. This can weaken the jet stream and make it more wavy. A wavy jet stream means more Arctic outbreaks in some areas and more warm anomalies in other areas at the same time. Right now, while the eastern United States is experiencing record cold, parts of Greenland and northern Canada are 15 to 30 degrees above normal. The cold has to go somewhere. It is not disappearing. It is just being redistributed. This does not mean climate change is not real. It means weather is complex, and short-term events do not negate long-term trends. Now let me give you some cities in the Mid-South. Shreveport, Louisiana, Saturday morning at 36 degrees, wind chills at 24 degrees. Freeze warning in effect. Monroe, Louisiana, Saturday morning at 34 degrees, wind chills at 22 degrees, hard freeze possible in rural areas. Alexandria, Louisiana, Saturday morning at 36 degrees, wind chills at 24 degrees. Lafayette, Louisiana, Saturday morning at 40 degrees, wind chills at 28 degrees. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Saturday morning at 42 degrees, wind chills at 30 degrees. You are on the edge of the freeze line. New Orleans, Louisiana, Saturday morning at 44 degrees, wind chills at 34 degrees. No freeze for the city proper, but frost possible in northern suburbs. Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Saturday morning at 36 degrees, wind chills at 24 degrees. Freeze warning in effect. Meridian, Mississippi, Saturday morning at 34 degrees, wind chills at 22 degrees. Tupelo, Mississippi, Saturday morning at 30 degrees, wind chills at 16 degrees. Hard freeze Saturday morning. Jonesboro, Arkansas, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 28 degrees, wind chills at 12 degrees. Fayetteville, Arkansas, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 26 degrees, wind chills at 10 degrees. Fort Smith, Arkansas, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow plus ice. Saturday morning at 28 degrees, wind chills at 14 degrees. Watch for power outages from ice on lines. Hot Springs, Arkansas, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 30 degrees, wind chills at 16 degrees. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Friday into Saturday, 1 to 2 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 32 degrees, wind chills at 18 degrees. Now let me give you the West Virginia Panhandle and Western Maryland. Martinsburg, West Virginia, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 16 degrees, wind chills at -4 degrees. Hagerstown, Maryland, Friday into Saturday, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 18 degrees, wind chills at -2 degrees. Cumberland, Maryland, Friday into Saturday, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 14 degrees, wind chills at -6 degrees. Frederick, Maryland, Friday into Saturday, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Saturday morning at 20 degrees, wind chills at 0 degrees. Now, at the 60-minute mark, let me leave you with this final comprehensive summary. We are in the middle of a historic winter pattern. Since mid-January, the eastern United States has been battered by storm after storm and Arctic blast after Arctic blast. Winter Storm Kingston was the 6th winter storm in 2 weeks. That is unprecedented frequency. This weekend's Arctic outbreak will bring the coldest temperatures of the season to most of the eastern two-thirds of the United States. Over 100 million people will experience dangerous cold. Wind chills below -30 degrees will affect 40 to 50 million people. Wind chills below -40 degrees will affect 10 to 15 million people. The peak of the cold is Saturday morning between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. across most locations. That is when temperatures bottom out and wind chills reach their lowest point. Sunday brings slight moderation, but you are still well below normal. Monday is a brief break. Tuesday through Thursday next week brings another Arctic blast, possibly even colder for the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic than this weekend. Then a major pattern change arrives around February 15th and 16th. Temperatures could swing dramatically warmer, but in that transition around Valentine's Day, February 14th, there is potential for a major winter storm somewhere along the East Coast. Details are uncertain, but the pattern supports it. The last half of February looks warmer overall, but more active with storm systems. This is the most active winter pattern in 5 years. Records are being broken. Infrastructure is being tested. Lives are at risk. Please take this seriously. Prepare today, Friday. Check on your neighbors Saturday morning. Limit time outdoors in the coldest zones. Know the signs of frostbite and hypothermia. Have emergency supplies ready. I will be here every day tracking this for you. Subscribe to this channel so you do not miss updates. Comment below with your location, and I will reply with your specific forecast. Share this video with everyone you know who needs this information. This is life and death serious in some areas, but knowledge is power. Now you know exactly what is coming when it arrives and what to do about it. Stay safe, stay warm, check back tomorrow for updates, and I will see you in the next video. God bless and stay prepared, America.